Since the dawn of man, we have tried and failed many times to find a word that can accurately be used to address any person regardless of their station, age, or gender. Of course, there have been attempts to accomplish such a feat, like uniting all of us under a common name, such as Alexander the Great, famously referring to everybody as Dude Man. This, of course, did lead to him being assassinated by a man sent by King Porus who was named Lube Larry. Many stated he was named this because even when he was chained, he could slip out of them regardless of how tight they were. And of course, after the Greeks were finally brought down, the Romans came in and were like, oh hey, that's pretty neat, I'm going to take this now. This was of course when Julius Caesar made the famous statement, I'm calling people Dude Man now because that's pretty cool. That of course is why he did end up getting killed by his own men. So you can only imagine everybody's surprise when a man from Washington came to Congress to propose we make a new title that can describe every person accurately without excluding a single group of people, while also being short, efficient, and easy to say.
Yeah, it's pretty important that we resolve this issue. We could end up with global warfare on our hands. Or worse, I could get fired.
The voice you just heard is a man named Hugh, a senator in Washington who has stepped forward and proposed an idea to solve this problem. So his brilliant idea was to take a bunch of people who have never met one another and lock them in a room until they become familiar with one another.
I just think it's a good idea, because what really is a better way to get the answer we're looking for by getting it straight from the people. But I needed Congress to be on board with me on this before I could set up the experiment. Thankfully, they gave me 3 weeks to find the answer.
Hugh said he wanted to do this so we could find a natural way of making a new name for everybody. So today, I have called Hugh so we can document the conclusion that the experiment will bring us to, and hopefully we might just get out of here without any bodies. The first experiment could only be described as a disaster. One of the subjects got in a fight with another subject over whether or not a Cheeto could be considered a chip. With no clear answer in sight, Hugh had to get a clever idea soon, because one of his 3 weeks was already up without even a hint of a clue. Although even in the fighting, the two people did settle on calling one another igloo-dwelling schmucks.
I did actually bring this to Congress today, and they said it was good, but it was considered quite rude by some of the Congress members, saying that it's insensitive due to the fact that they live inside of underground bunkers shaped like carrots. So, as you would think Congress started to learn, I don't think they really cared about the experiment. They just wanted the room I was using to back for Parcheesi night.
In an effort to find the answer, Hugh started a brand new experiment with a group of exclusively males in hopes they would get along better. Luckily for him, one of the subjects happened to be from a strange place he referred to as Cali, and was actually a really cool guy. He sadly has died recently in a freak accident involving a toaster and an exercise ball. He was the first one to come up with a name everybody enjoyed. Being from a rumored land of Cali, he naturally called people an odd word never quite heard before, bro. What the odd word actually means has been lost because the secret died with the man, but luckily for Hugh, the subjects got along quite nicely now that they had a new word to call one another. With such an improvement in the subjects' attitudes, we are bound to find an answer pretty soon.
Congress actually really enjoyed calling one another bro, so it was a pretty good idea. But at the same time, I'm beginning to panic a bit because I only have 1 more week, and we have yet to see the effects of a bro on a more varied demographic.
With only 1 week remaining, Hugh brought in even more people. Some were female, some were male, and some of them thought that Tom and Jerry was a bad cartoon. With this group of people, there was no way that any group of people weren't being represented. Luckily for Hugh, bro caught on very quickly among the people and actually became a method of exclusive communication for some of the subjects, only speaking in variants of the word bro. The language could really only be discernible by them. Apparently, the only change in word was the speed in which it was spoken and the pitch it was used.
Yeah, we decided to call these guys dude bros because they were primarily male and, only spoke using the word bro. Fortunately for us, some of the subjects have stopped calling one another igloo-dwelling schmucks, so hopefully this data we've collected can present this to Congress and make a good argument.
Of course, these were just experiments, but now that it has not only been found but proven to have some traction with the people, like using bro to address one another, Congress would then vote on what is deemed as the best course of action. Sadly, I haven't gotten any calls recently from Hugh, so we can really only hope that Congress passed the bill, if not for the sake of the people, for Hugh's career.
Hey man, it was a success, you wouldn't believe it. The whole Congress voted for bro to become the new big word. Thank you so much for documenting this whole event with me. I really appreciate it. I hope we can do work together another time on election that's coming up pretty soon. I did actually bring this to Congress today, and they said it was good, but it's considered quite rude by some of the Congress members, saying that redo that line. I started.
This, of course, did lead to him being assassinated by a man sent by King Porus who was named Lube Larry.